Here's something you might not know about jack-o'-lanterns. Carving pumpkins is such a fun tradition, but the tradition of jack-o'-lanterns actually came from Ireland, and Ireland didn't have pumpkins. They're native to North America, so what were the Irish carving? Turnips! Yeah, the Irish were carving faces into turnips for a long time. And when they came over to America and brought this tradition, they ended up switching over to pumpkins because they found that pumpkins were a lot bigger and easier to carve. Some of the traditional turnip jack-o'-lanterns were pretty horrifying. Which, I guess is fitting. They were originally supposed to scare off evil spirits. That thing looks like an evil spirit all on its own. Trick or treat! Trick. What? You heard me. Try something. I just want a treat. Oh, that's not what you said, is it? Come on, let's see it. Yeah, that's what I thought. What just happened? Hey, everybody! We appreciate you guys coming out. Thanks for joining us. I mean, I know your time here is very limited, so yeah, really glad you chose to spend it here. Okay, look, I get why you guys do that. I mean, but to be honest, it's a little demoralizing when you do it here. So maybe we could just tone it down a little. That's not too much trouble. I hate this job. Hey, what do you call Naglfar when it gets close to you? Noggle near. Fun fact! Similar to Halloween, Dia de los Muertos, or the Day of the Dead, is a time of year when the spirits of the deceased can return to the human world. And it also has a bit to do with butterflies. You see, monarch butterflies are a species that migrate south to Mexico for the colder months, and they get there right as the Day of the Dead is beginning, which has resulted in the popular belief that these creatures are actually the spirits of the dead coming to visit their families, which I think makes sense. I mean, right when the Day of the Dead begins, all of these things fly in, why wouldn't you think that? So maybe don't swat at any of these things, wouldn't want to accidentally smack Grandpa. What's really interesting about this is the ancient Greeks also used butterflies as a symbol for Thanatos, the god of death. What is it with butterflies and death, man? That is not the animal I would think of. Oh, he's gonna love this. Hey, Adam, come see what I made. Oh, God, help me! Oh, myself. What's going on with you? I just woke up and I was bleeding profusely. Oh, God. Do you know what happened? No, I mean, we hung out in the garden, you took a nap, I tucked you in, and I tore one of your ribs out. Say what now? Why would you take my rib? Well, remember how you said you were lonely earlier? Well, I made another person for you, and I had to tear out one of your ribs to do that. But you made me out of dust! Like, why didn't you just do that again? Well, Adam, you're a man, okay? This one's a woman, and women come from people's ribs, I've decided. Are you kidding me right now? Do you have any idea how much this hurts? Alright, I'm sorry. Here's the woman. You know, I've got like 20 more of these things. Let's pop a few more out. Hey, dude, I got a little gift for you. Whoa, is this a chocolate Mayan calendar? Dude, this is awesome. Yeah, I know you're into that stuff, so thought you might like that. Hope it's tasty. Yeah, but honestly, the design is so perfect, I don't know if I can bring myself to ruin it. Oh, well, I mean, you don't have to eat it. What? Hey. You know why Poseidon is wearing headphones? 'Cause he's listening to some Neptunes. So here's a mythical creature who seems a bit fishy. The Iwanabozu from Japanese mythology. Oh, weird, another creature from Japan. See, apparently the Japanese believed that if certain fish lived long enough, they would grow to human size, grow human limbs, start walking around on land, and start dressing up like monks. Sure. What do these creatures do, you ask? Well, they seek out greedy humans who are overfishing or using poisons in their fishing and proceed to lecture them. Yeah, basically these creatures just go around telling people, hey, you don't need to fish that many and don't put poison in the water. Stop that. Knock that off. Not very environmentally friendly. Kinda implies these creatures don't mind their own people getting mass slaughtered as long as it's regulated. How professional. Also, in the stories I've read about these things, the people they encounter usually don't notice that they're not human. because I guess people are idiots.
Tell us what happened the night you were attacked.
I was asleep. I thought I was dreaming. Then the woman just chopped all of it off. God knows if it will grow back. My career is ruined. Look what she did to me.
I'm born. I am the first major being to come into existence. Oh man, what I do next will be the most important and significant event to occur in Egyptian mythology. Hey, you know why Tlaloc wanted to be king? Because he likes to reign over people. Here's something you might not know about Excalibur. If you're familiar with the legend of King Arthur, you may have noticed something strange. He seems to acquire Excalibur twice, once by pulling it from the stone, and once from the Lady of the Lake. Well, there's actually a reason for this. See, originally, these were two different swords. Yeah, the sword in the stone was not Excalibur, though in later versions they were merged together. The sword in the stone was Arthur's first sword up until it got broken, and then that's when Arthur went and got Excalibur from the Lady of the Lake. Though there are also tellings where the first sword actually gets stolen and later used by Mordred to kill King Arthur. There's a sad full circle. His rule began because of this sword, and it ended because of this sword. You probably want to know the official name for this sword, and hey, so do I, but when I looked into it, it looks like everyone's still arguing about which one's legitimate, so couldn't really get a definitive answer on that. Oh well, sword in the stone, I guess. And now, pickup lines. I'm here. What are your other two wishes? I'm not Arabian, but I can still go 1,001 nights. If I told you I was Sinbad, would you be my 8th voyage? Those are some nice legs. Open sesame. Your carpet doesn't have to be magic for me to get on it. It's not a lamp, but if you rub it, we can still make some magic happen. Great work, everyone. The community loves God of War Ragnarok Valhalla. We did it. Oh, my phone's vibrating. Sorry, give me a second. Hello? Yeah, hi. Oh, not this again. Look, buddy, I've had enough of your crap, okay? So far, all of your games have released finished. You have yet to implement any microtransactions at all, and now I hear you've added in an expansion for free? I can only assume that was an accident. No, we did it on purpose because we're already highly successful and we wanted to put out a love letter to our fan base. Are you insane? How do you plan on making money? Putting out quality products and maintaining community trust? Okay, now you're just making up words. Dude, you ever stop to think the way you do business is wrong? Right or wrong doesn't matter. What matters is money. But thanks to what you keep pulling, you're showing the community that there is no excuse whatsoever for the anti-consumer stuff we keep doing. You're making us look bad. I think you make yourselves look bad. Now you listen here. No. What are we supposed to do now? Make good games? You're fired. Hey, what did Adam say on the night before Christmas? It's Christmas Eve! Merry Christmas. So here's a mythical creature who's probably just a homeless guy, to be honest. The Belsnickel from German folklore. The Belsnickel is an equivalent of Santa Claus, only instead of a nice red suit, he wears tattered clothes, furs, and sometimes a mask. His pockets are filled with desserts and mixed nuts for the good children. The bad children, however, he beats with a stick, similar to Krampus. Surprising number of Christmas characters who beat children. He also sometimes has the good children sing songs for him in exchange for the desserts. Okay? And also, if the kids take the desserts too quickly, he'll sometimes beat them with a stick too. Dude's really just looking for any reason. You know, call me crazy, but if I were a kid and a stranger came up to me wearing tattered clothes and a mask and told me to start singing in exchange for treats, I'd probably GTFO. Who are you? Oh, crap. Alright, I'm Santa. But you're not wearing a red suit. Yeah, I used to wear that, but then I realized my whole job revolves around me not being seen, so, What's the point in dressing up? So now I just wear whatever. But your hair and beard aren't white. Kid, I'm immortal, so my hair doesn't turn white. I don't know why people think that. Well, you are fat. Hey, I'm working on it. So, do I still get Christmas presents? Yep, but only if you go back to your room. Okay. Works every time. I'm working on it. Now, son, did you remember to feed the little lamb? Actually, Dad, could I not spend time with the little lamb anymore? Is something wrong? He's freaking me out lately. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Why? What's going on?
Do you hear what I hear?
Hey, what do you call Odin when he leaves his house? Ode out. Fun fact! Did you know there is a god of the new year? Well, okay, there's probably several, but one of them is the Roman god Janus. Janus was god of many things, including duality, transitions, and time itself. So, yeah, naturally he'd be associated with the new year. I mean, we're transitioning from one year to another, and time. It was also believed that he was there at the beginning of time, and some say that one of his faces looks into the past, while the other looks into the future. Romans would honor Janus by holding a feast for him during their New Year's celebration, and during that celebration, they would often make promises to him of different ways they would be better in the following year. Yeah, the origin of the New Year's resolution. His name is also where we get the word January, the first month of the year. How perfect is that? Even though the Roman New Year began in March. Weird. It worked out. This man in front of me is named Mr. D. He's wearing a tiger patterned shirt. There's satyrs everywhere. He's talking about wine. Wait a minute! He's the god Dionysus! Wow, that's a really cool reveal. Hey, Percy, see that guy? That guy's Dionysus. Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's the Minotaur, and that's Medusa. Oh, so you're just gonna immediately identify everything on sight, huh? Yep, that's what we're doing. Kinda makes it feel like a bit of a rushed pace, though, doesn't it? I mean, shouldn't we let these moments breathe and build up these characters, take in the environments, let me as the main character figure out who these characters are alongside the audience, which is more fun for Myth fans? We don't have time for that, we only have 8 episodes. Why don't we just make the episodes longer? No, now let's get moving, you've got a quest to do. What? But we just got to camp! I said move it! Hey, Zeus, we need to talk. Sorry, who the hell are you? I'm your wife! Hera? We have 3 kids together. You forced yourself on me? In the form of a cuckoo bird. Oh yeah, that one! Oh, man, that was so funny. Good times. I hate you. Hey, what is the scarab god's favorite drink? Capri Sun. What, you don't like my Capri pun about Capri Sun? So here's a mythical creature who exists. The Makurai Geishi from Japanese mythology. Yep, Japan again. It's the country that keeps on giving. This creature resembles a sort of childlike demonic ghost who appears when you're asleep. Oh, and when I tell you what this creature does, oh my god, you are not ready for this. This is a whole new brand of evil right here. This creature comes into your room while you are sleeping and defenseless and proceeds to turn your pillow over. No exaggeration. Thanks to this pure malevolence, some people wake up to find that their pillow placement has changed. Sometimes the pillows are even down by their feet. Monsters! But it gets worse. Sometimes these creatures will go so far as to turn the whole person over, so they wake up in a different position than they slept in. Okay, Japan, what are you doing? Seriously, people shift in their sleep. Just leave it at that. Not every mundane thing needs a mythical explanation. You should never say the word Wendigo, because saying that will attract its evil attention and it will come for you and kill you. Oh wait, I just said it! Someone has said my name and conjured me. I shall now track them down and kill them. They are currently... Oh, they're in Europe. I'm in North America, that's... No matter! I shall find a way to get there! Last-minute flights are so expensive! I could save a lot if I book one 2 months from now. But if I wait that long, it kinda defeats the purpose. Wait, I have to pay extra for a carry-on now? When did that start? So the YouTube channel recently hit 1 million subscribers. Thank you for that, by the way. And I am personally a big believer that you should reward yourself when you hit certain milestones. Now, I never outgrew my love of Legos, so whenever the channel hits a certain number, like 50k or 100k and so on, I buy myself a big Lego set. And since the channel's myth-related, the sets usually are too, like the Monkey King warrior mech, the pea shoe, or Thor's hammer. You get the idea. So, what do I get myself for hitting 1 million subscribers? I mean, that's a big deal, so the set's gotta be a big deal too. Well, after looking around, I think I found the perfect set to commemorate it. The Roman Colosseum set. Not only a huge set, but a huge part of Roman history and culture, one of the 7 wonders of the world. It's perfect! So I chose this Spider-Man set because I wanted it. Thanks again for the 1 million, I appreciate you guys. I have a question about Baldur. See, in the tale of Baldur, after he died, Hel said she'd bring Baldur back to life if all the beings in existence cried for him. And then the story says that his mother Frigg did get every being in existence to cry for him, except for one old woman who may have been Loki in disguise. So, the mission failed, they didn't bring him back, but the story specifically says that old woman was the only being not to cry for Baldur, so does that mean even the enemies of Asgard cried for Baldur? The ones who, like, are hoping to bring about its downfall? The ones who will fight against them at Ragnarok? Did Frigga go to Muspelheim and get the fire giants to cry for him? Even Surt? Can fire giants cry? Can tears exist in Muspelheim? Why would Surt, who is spending all his time getting a sword ready for Ragnarok, stop to cry for one of his enemies, and how would that even work? What do you think? Fun fact. Ever heard the term low end of the totem pole? It's an expression people typically use to refer to someone who's, like, unpopular or unimportant. Like, Jeff, yeah, he's on the lower end of the totem pole. Or, dude, you're moving up the totem pole. You're at the higher end now. Oh, my cred's going down. I'm really falling down this totem pole. Well, the funny thing about that expression is it is 100% incorrect. In Native American culture, the lowest character on the totem pole was actually the most important and prestigious one. It's the one that's at eye level with everyone. It's also the one bearing the weight of all the other characters on the totem pole. There would be no pole without the lowest character. So, yeah, next time some jerk says you're at the low end of the totem pole, realize that they're actually complimenting you and they're stupid. Sire, I think the people would appreciate it if we came up with a new religious ceremony to honor the gods. You got any ideas? Well, I could jack off. What? Well, think about it. I mean, I could strip down until I'm completely naked, and then just start beating my— Sire, that's not a ceremony, that's just something you already do 4 times a day. And make me watch. Alright, then, how about we do it in the sacred river? Yeah, I'll shoot my seed into the water that everyone uses. Well, that's disgusting. But see, the issue with that, among many, is we're kind of looking for a ceremony that can involve the whole kingdom. Oh, that's no issue. They can watch me jack off. Oh my god! I see this catching on. No, that's not gonna catch on. I'm cutting you off, buddy. Only water for the rest of the night. Oh, no. Hey, when Greek people fall in love, do you think they blame the god of love, or do you think they blame the projectiles he shoots at people? Well, I guess either way they'd be blaming arrows. Here's something you might not know about Disney's Hercules. Remember when Disney used to make a bunch of direct-to-DVD sequels to their movies? Well, we almost got a sequel to this film called Hercules 2: The Trojan War. See, in this film, it would have been revealed that Hercules and Helen were actually old friends, and Paris of Troy was going to be the villain who kidnaps Helen, and when Hercules finds out about this, he joins the Greeks to try to save her. The movie actually never even made it past the proposal stage, because during that, a new Disney CEO took over and he decided no more DVD sequels. You may think we missed out on something here, but I've seen a lot of the DVD sequels. Most of them are not good. Oh, and the movie was also going to have Hercules and Meg living together in Athens with a daughter named Hebe. Which is a little weird, because if you're a myth fan, you know that Hebe is the name of Heracles' fourth wife. What were you trying to say there, Disney? Hey, Odin. Hey, Heimdall! I haven't seen you in centuries! Where have you been? I've been doing the job you gave me, remember? Standing at the Bifrost, spending every moment of my life watching for Ragnarok, so I can let you know when it starts. Oh, right. Forgot about that. Well, don't I feel special. Anyway, I just popped in to use the restroom, but while I'm here, is that a rooster? When did we get a rooster? Oh, we've had him for a while. He's a sacred rooster. What does that mean? Well, see, there are 3 magical roosters who will let out a deafening crow right when Ragnarok begins. And we got one. Pretty cool, huh? Odin? Yeah? If you have a bird that's going to crow right when Ragnarok starts, why do I need to constantly be watching all the realms for it? Oh. I guess you don't. Oops. I mean, it's kind of funny when you think about it. Hey, Moses, can we talk? What's up? Well, we've been wandering this desert for 20 years now. Yes, we're heading to the Promised Land. Are we? What do you mean by that? You know where you're going, right? Whoa, hey, where did that come from? Well, let me put it this way. I was 6 when this started. Now I've got 3 kids, yet still no milk or honey. Heck, one time you got all our hopes up stepping away for over a month, but when you got back, all you brought us was a bunch of rules. Hey, now, those rules came straight from the Lord God himself. You should appreciate those. Yeah, because that's what people want in the middle of an arduous journey. More restrictions. Yay. What's even the point of thou shalt not steal? What is there to steal? I must say, I'm disappointed. You guys really need to learn how to be patient. It's been 20 years, Moses! Exactly, we're halfway there. Say what now? Hey! When the god of love made a dating app, but couldn't think of a name for it, what did his friends say to him? Hey, it's okay, Cupid. So here's a mythical creature who doesn't know that smoking's bad. The Capre from Filipino mythology. Capre are hairy, dark-skinned giants with terrible BO who hang out in trees and smoke cigars. For the most part, the Capre isn't dangerous, he's just kind of a dick. He likes to interfere with people's minds to get them lost in the woods, kinda similar to the Tikbalong or the Encanto. A Capre will become very angry and dangerous if you chop down the tree it's living in, though, for obvious reasons. There are also some stories saying that the Capre holds onto a little rock or egg, and if you manage to get it, it will grant wishes for you. Good luck with that. Capre are also known for catcalling. Yeah, they frequently hit on women who pass by their tree, and if they really like a woman, they'll follow her around and continue hitting on her. That's a whole new level of awkward. Large, hairy, stinky men with cigars who annoy people and catcall. No idea what could have inspired this.
Okay, I'm just gonna get one, all right? It's just one, all right? How bad could one be? It's not that expensive. It's not, well, I mean, I have to get it a friend, right? I mean, who's he gonna talk to? He's gonna get bored. And you know, what if they get sick of each other? You know, they need a third guy. And honestly, I have 3. I might as well get the whole set, you know? I mean, like, why not? I mean, just complete it. I mean, and you know, they released a few more. You might as well. And, you know, honestly, it's money's not a problem for me. I can afford it. I mean, and it's not an addiction, it's a hobby. Well, yeah, I'm wanted in 13 states for credit card debt, but that means that there's 37 states that still love me, so...
You know, apparently it's been proven that men who have more sex actually live longer. I guess now we know where the Greek gods got their immortality from. I have a question about Chang'e and Hu Yi. See, in Chinese myth, Chang'e and Hu Yi were 2 people who acquired an elixir of immortality, which they planned to share so they could both become gods together. But through some unfortunate circumstances, Chang'e ended up drinking the entire elixir, and she became a goddess and ascended into the sky and could no longer see her husband. Sad story. I guess the idea is gods can't come down to Earth and mingle with humans. But here's what's weird. In the Chinese journey to the West, Chinese gods are constantly on Earth mingling with humans. Most obvious examples being Sun Wukong, Zhu Baji, and Sha Wujing. So what's stopping Chang'e from going to see her husband? Also, why can't she get some other form of immortality for her husband? There are peaches of immortality, wine of immortality, pills of immortality. Sun Wukong got all of these things. Why can't Chang'e get one for Hu Yi? I don't know, what do you think? Fun fact! Did you know we get the word panic from the Greek satyr god Pan? Yeah, a lot of people seem to know about this character, but not a lot of people seem to know about a certain power he had. See, Pan had the ability to make this very loud, shattering, horrifying scream noise, which was so loud and horrifying, even deities would run away in terror when he made it. He apparently used that noise as a weapon to help the gods during their war with the Gigantus. So yeah, loud, horrifying noise causing people to run away in fear, panic. Yeah. Though the word is also partially rooted in the fact that Pan's ugly appearance caused women to run away in fear at the sight of him, though that fact is a little more, well, depressing.
Hail, Messiah! I'm not the Messiah! I say you are, Lord, and I should know. I followed a few. Hail, Messiah! I'm not the Messiah. Will you please listen? I am not the Messiah. Do you understand? Honestly!
Only the true Messiah denies his divinity.
Well, what sort of chance does that give me? All right, I am the Messiah. He is! He is the Messiah!
Hey, what do Indian people say when they see a fire? Oh, the agony! Here's some stuff you might not know about St. Patrick. Did you know St. Patrick's Day isn't actually on his birthday? And he wasn't from Ireland? And his original name wasn't Patrick? And he didn't wear green? A lot of misconceptions. See, the man was actually born in Britain to two Roman parents, and his original name was that. He actually first came to Ireland because he was captured and sold there as a slave. He escaped and eventually returned as a missionary. When he became a priest, he took on the name Patrick, inspired by the Latin word for father, because obviously this man is a total daddy. St. Patrick's Day is actually on the day he died, because in Catholicism, the day a saint dies is revered as when they ascend to heaven, and don't have to deal with our BS anymore. The wearing green thing actually comes from the idea that green makes you invisible to leprechauns, who pinch people when they see them. Oh, hashtag cancel the leprechauns. Hey, yo mama's so fat, King Arthur's knights gather around her. Yo mama's so dumb, she challenged Balor to a staring contest. Yo mama's so ugly, the Knuckle of E ran away screaming. Yo mama's so broke, she has to catch a second leprechaun. Yo mama's so annoying, the banshees scream when she doesn't die. Yo mama's so dumb, when asked if she visits Camelot, she said, I don't know anyone named Cam. Yo mama's so ugly, when she got replaced with a changeling, her parents said, oh, thank God. What if the gods had theme songs?
Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you just made me do.
Under the sea, darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me.
I see trees of green, red roses too. You're in my world now, not your world. And I got friends on the other side.
I'm sexy and I know it.
I need a man, make it happen. I get up being free. I need a man, make me feel good.
It's a good day to die, to stand and fight until we're dead. Sparks are flying, passion strong. I am the blacksmith singing the hammer and the anvil song.
What if the gods had theme songs?
I wanna get in trouble. I wanna start a fight. Na 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 na. I wanna start a fight.
Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun.
I'm a champion.
my friend. Pressure pushing down on me.
One way or another, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you, get you, get you, get you. Come on, baby, feel the rainbow. Baby, take my hand. Fight the sea, lean in for a kiss of death from these pomegranate lips. Don't wake me up, don't wake me. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine.
I keep giving you the fire.
I'm the healer, under my control. I'm the strong one. I'm not nervous. I'm as tough as the crust of the earth is.
Oh, I'm one disgusting blighter. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I really want to make a love connection.
Hey, why does Eris spend so much time arguing with people online? Well, she is the goddess of discord. So here's a mythical creature who apparently shows up in One Piece, the Ushi-Oni from Japanese myth, also called Gyuki. The name means ox demon, and the appearance varies. Sometimes it's a demon head on an ox body, sometimes it's an ox head on a spider-like body, or a cat-like body, or even a human body, like a minotaur. There aren't any benevolent versions of these creatures. They are all very deadly, carnivorous, and feast on human flesh. Some will only eat you if you go near their lair, but there are others that actively hunt for humans out in towns, and on top of that, they actively spit poison, spread diseases, and curses. Whole new type of pest. Sometimes they'll even join up with other yokai like the Nuorona, who lure men towards the water. Then when the men go to the water, both of these yokai eat them. What's gonna work? Teamwork. Japan is highly in need of some exterminators. Or Ghostbusters. Interesting. What are you doing? I have a geography test tomorrow. So, I'm studying the Atlas. It wasn't funny last week, and it's not funny now. You want to tell me what happened to Jesus' body? Not really. You were supposed to be guarding it, so where'd it go? It's, complicated. Did somebody steal it? No. Well, it didn't just get up and walk away, now did it? Hey, you know why Easter is so popular in Asia? Because it's the most Eastern place there is. God, that was terrible. Fun fact! Many people know that the Greek goddess Nyx was the mother of several dark deities, but did you know that her daughter Eris, the goddess of chaos, was also the mother to a bunch of dark deities? See, Eris birthed several daemons throughout her lifetime. Now, a daemon in Greek mythology is basically a spirit who exists as a living personification of a certain behavior or characteristic. Eris's children, for example, included the daemon of toil, the daemon of forgetfulness, the one of starvation, ruin, punishment for those who break their oaths, grief, battle, murder, slaughter, arguments, lies, and so many others. Ah, Eris, you add such wonderful things to the world, don't you? Jesus Christ, would you look at the time? It's 2:38. Great, thanks. Didn't have to be so dramatic about it. Look, you conjured me here. You said my name a whole bunch of times, so what do you want? I wasn't trying to do that, though. Do you know what a pain it was to get here? How many buses I had to take? Why were you chanting my name then? What were you trying to do? I was just trying to write a song. Oh. Aw. You wrote a song about me? Yes. Yeah, let's go with that. May I hear it? No. Oh, cool, you got the Ahsoka book. Is it any good? I don't know. You don't know? What do you mean? I haven't read that one yet. Oh, okay, so you, just got it. Yeah, about 5 years ago. Well, why'd you get the book if you're not gonna read it? Well, I'm gonna read it, just later. Okay, sure, fair enough. Ooh, the Anansi Boys! Oh, I hear this is good. Oh, yeah, that's a great one. That It's great. So you haven't read this one either. I was going to, but then I didn't. So how many of these books on your many shelves have you not actually read? I ain't got time for that kind of math. Don't you go to Barnes & Noble like every week? Look, reading books and collecting books are two different hobbies. Whatever you say, man. Can I borrow this? No, I'm gonna read that. When? I don't know! So here's a mythical creature who you already know if you've read the Trials of Apollo series. The Pandai, or Pandi, or Panoti, or Panotioi. Those are all different spellings. From Greek and Roman mythology. In case you somehow can't tell, these creatures had enormous ears. They also had 8 fingers on each hand and 8 toes on each foot. Their fur was white, but turned black as they got older. The Pandai were a warrior race, and one of the many tribes of monsters Greek explorers claimed were living in India. Not sure why they kept creating more of those. India has its own monsters. What's a little interesting is while we do have very old artwork depicting these creatures with clothes, the Roman Encyclopedia actually states that these creatures never wore clothes. Instead, they would sometimes use their ears as clothing. They also used their ears as blankets, and some say they even used them to fly. They should sue Dumbo. Hey, Scribe, listen, I picked up this Odyssey book at the library, and it's a really great read. I know, huh? Yeah, but for some reason only the first couple chapters are in here. Like, where can I read the rest? Ah, well, to read the whole story, you gotta sign up for Mount Olim Plus. Oh, gods, really? Why not? All the Greek stories in one place for just 20 drachmas a month. Wait, 20 drachmas? I've heard of this service. I thought it was only 8 drachmas. Well, it was, but then all these other paid services started, like Asgard Plus, Pyramid Plus, and Scientology. We had to raise our prices to stay competitive. That's not how staying competitive works. Look, do you want the book or not? Well, I guess it would be nice to have it all in one place. I could read the Iliad, the Odyssey, and the Telegony. Oh, yeah. We don't have all of those. What? Well, we used to, but then the Iliad and the Telegony got swept up by other services. Still got the Odyssey. Okay, first of all, the Iliad and Telegony connect directly to the Odyssey, so you have an incomplete story. Please stop talking. Second, you now offer less than you used to, but you're charging more? But it's not just that, though. We also created thousands of new stories just for our service. And people like these new stories? Yeah! Like, 2 or 3 of them. I do not see the value here. Well, it's not about value. It's about you giving me more money. Wisdom. With Mimir. Stop romanticizing the past. You've always been miserable. Here's something you might not know about Nike. A lot of myth fans these days know that Nike is the Greek goddess of victory, frequent symbol of the Olympics, and the shoe brand is named after her. But do you know who Nike's family is? Well, Nike's father was Pallas, the titan of battle, and her mother was Styx. Yeah, the primordial spirit of the river Styx. After the Olympians defeated the Titans, Styx was concerned for the safety of their family, especially considering their direct relation to Pallas, so she told Nike and her siblings to go swear allegiance to Zeus immediately. So they did, and because they were the first gods to do so, Zeus made them his top enforcers. And who are Nike's siblings, you may ask? Well, she has a brother named Zealous, god of envy, a sister named Bia, goddess of force, and another brother named Kratos, the god of power. Yeah, might sound familiar. Nike basically became Zeus's right hand, which is why she's shown in his right hand in a lot of art. Okay, now remember, we are here to support Oedipus. He's going through a very tough time right now. What happened exactly? You don't want to know, trust me, okay? He was made aware of something and it really freaked him out. Hey, buddy. Oh, hey, guys. Hey, what up, motherfucker? Dude! What? Hey, bro, I want to show you something. Okay. See, Athena and I have this creation contest going on, and I just made the coolest thing. Horses! See, the way they work is, I've seen those before. No, you haven't. I just made them. Bro, that's the form Kronos took when he conceived Chiron, remember? Nuh-uh. Helios has a chariot pulled by 4 of those things. It's been around since before we were born. Selene has one too. We see them literally every day and night. I'm not gonna win this contest, am I? Be real surprised if you did. There's something I always wondered about Hindu avatars. See, sometimes in Hinduism, the powerful gods like Vishnu and Shiva want to come down to Earth for certain reasons, but apparently they can't come down to Earth in their full godly forms, I guess because that's too powerful. So they take on mortal forms instead, which is interesting, but the weird thing is, it doesn't seem like anything changes when they take on their mortal forms. Like, Vishnu's avatar Krishna was able to balance an entire mountain on his pinky when he was just a child, and his avatar Vamana was able to grow so large he inhabited literally the entire universe. If they still have access to that kind of power, what are they giving up when they become mortal? Like, they still seem like gods. In fact, a lot of people worship Krishna as a god, even though the whole point of Krishna was to live as a mortal. So, what even changes in between? Any ideas? So here's a mythical creature who gets their food in unorthodox ways. The Enko from Japanese folklore. These guys are similar to kappas in that they're small, hang out in the water, and have bowl-shaped impressions on their heads. But they're monkey-like instead of turtle-like, and have arms that can stretch out like Mr. Fantastic. Plus, they can shapeshift. They'll often turn themselves into dolls or human women or other stuff to mess with people. But they also attack, murder, and force themselves on people. They also hate cattle and attack any that come near their area. But they seem to have an aversion to metal for some reason, so you can chase them off with farm tools. But what they probably love more than anything is to eat the livers of still living humans. And the way they get them is by reaching right up into your booty hole and tearing it out. What is with Japan and booty holes? Why are you so fascinated with that area? Welcome to Camp Half-Blood. Please state your name and parent. My name's Dick Johnson, and I'm a child of Priapus. Alright, wait, Priapus? Isn't he the god of wieners? Yeah. Okay, yeah, I mean, well, makes sense given what he's the god of. I'm surprised we don't have more of these. Any special powers? Yeah, here. Oh god! There it is. So, you can just do that on command. Yep, that's what the old man gave me. Okay, well, I get it. You can stop now. I can't, actually. You can? Nope. Oh god. Oh, come on, man. Answer the door quick before she drains all the meat out of your body. Oh, hey, man. Not a good time. I'm kind of on a date. That's why I'm here, dude. We just found out your girlfriend is a Nikusui. What does that mean? Well, it means meat sucker. Really? Yeah, see, a Nikusui comes into a man's room at night and tries to suck him dry. Oh, hell yeah! What? Oh no, bro, that's not what Oh, God! Oh, no, this is nothing like what you said! Hey, here's another thing that doesn't make sense in Greek mythology. You know how after the Greek gods fought the Titans in Greek myth, Gaia eventually got mad at the gods and then birthed the giants, or the gigantus, to fight the gods? Well, do you know who the father of those giants was? Now, some authors, like Hyginus, say that the giants were children of Gaia and Tartarus. That makes sense, no problem there. But others, like Pseudo-Apollodorus, who is very well respected, say that the giants were children of Gaia and Uranus. Yeah, the same guy who fathered the Titans. How the hell does that work? Didn't Gaia betray Uranus way earlier? How are they still having kids together? And even if Uranus wants to, didn't Kronos castrate him? How can he still impregnate her? What happened? Did she pull his seed out of the ocean or something? Fun fact! Did you know the Aztecs believed that your relationship with dogs would decide your fate in the afterlife? The majority of people who died in Aztec culture were believed to go to Mictlan, an underworld with 9 levels you had to get through, and the first level required you to cross a river that was way too intense to cross on your own. So how the heck do you get across? Well, the area is also inhabited by several dogs called the Xoloitzcuintle, and if you were nice to dogs in life, one of them would help you get across the river. But if you weren't, well, they wouldn't. And then you'd just be wandering aimlessly for all eternity. There are variations of this belief, like some people actually buried their dead with their pet dogs so that that dog would guide them in the afterlife. Either way, the Aztecs seem very pro-doggo, and I think that's something we can all get on board with. At least I hope we can. If not, how dare you? What if the gods had theme songs?
sad type, make your girlfriend mad type, might seduce your dad type.
Take me by the hand, lead me to the land that you understand. By the sword in my hand, I will conquer the land.
Oh, I need to find my aim, 'cause I'm shooting blind.
Every bond you break, every step you take, I'll be watching you.
Don't you know that I cried tears of gold for you?
Take a ride in the sky on a ship fantasize.
Let it grow, let it grow. You can't reap what you don't sow. Plant a seed inside the earth.
Feels good here, 6 feet under. I will call my poet, his weapon is his word. He will slay you with his tongue, all day, all night, all Lord.
I'm invincible, and I win every single day.
Father, I think I'm old enough now to learn about the birds and the bees. Very well, boy. Approach the woman you are interested in, and when you are within range, press the circle button. Okay. After that, complete the quick time events. They're randomly generated, so pay attention. When the red orbs spawn, it means you've succeeded. What about PC control? Don't you ever ask that again! We are a PlayStation family! The Oni in Japanese mythology were basically demons, often considered to be embodiments of pure evil. Well, if they're that bad, they should have called them Oh No. Get out. What? Get out of my class. But I was just, get out of my class! I guess this is my punishment. Get out! So here's a mythical creature who wants to make a name for himself in a really messed up way. The Popobawa from Zanzibar folklore. It's often described as a one-eyed bat-like creature, especially since the name apparently means bat wing, but it's also said that it can change its form. And what does he do? Well, I'd say you don't want to know, but here we are. He often breaks into people's houses at night and viciously attacks all members of the household, men, women, and children. He is also known for forcing himself on people, be they male or female. He doesn't seem to mind. And after he's done having his way with you, he then tells you he's gonna come back and do it again, unless you go around telling people about what happened. Yeah, apparently it's really important to this guy that everyone knows what he's been doing. Not sure why that's the legacy you want to leave behind, but not sure I want to know either. There doesn't seem to be a known way to prevent this guy in the first place. Usually people just stay awake. Well, let's break out the G Fuel. Excuse me, teacher. What's up? Look, I signed up for this class because I really did want to learn about Aztec culture, but so far everything you've told me has been, well, messed up and nightmare-inducing. Well, it's a different kind of culture. I mean, you gotta get out of your comfort zone. Sir, I can't find my comfort zone anymore. I mean, did they have to go so hard? Yesterday you spent 2 hours telling us how they used to burn people alive and then rip their hearts out before they died. Well, that's what their gods wanted. Why, though? Why are all of their gods so mean? Well, they weren't all bad. Zypatotek, for example. He was the god of healing and gave food to the people. Oh, okay, great. Let's hear about him. Sure. All right, so every day Zypatotek would flay his own body until all of his skin came off. Now, see, there you go again. That's disgusting and horrible. That's not wholesome. Man, like, where's the god of the butterflies? There actually is a goddess of butterflies called Itzpapalotl. Okay. Of course, she's also a skeletal death goddess who reigns over dead babies. I'm dropping the class. Excuse me, why are you killing our people and sucking on their bodies? Because I have to. Bish tacos like me require large amounts of fat to survive, so we suck it out of you humans. I think I know a place that can help. All right, brought you some seconds. No more. But you've only had one meal. That Big Mac had more fat than I've tasted in 2 centuries. You're telling me humans eat this? It's tasty. It's poison! Well, yeah, but tasty poison. Hey, did you hear the Monkey King is trying to get to second base with his girlfriend? Yeah, it's his journey to the chest. Fun fact, the Monkey King has been pretty popular lately, but one thing I've also noticed is a lot of people don't seem to know where he came from or why he's referred to as the Monkey King. Well, let's break it down. At one point, at the very top of Flower Fruit Mountain, there was an unusual stone, and one day, that stone simply hatched and a baby monkey came out of it. Some say, though, that the stone transformed into a monkey. Either way, this is why Sun Wukong is known as the Stone Monkey. After he was born, the first thing Wukong did was look up at the sky and shoot laser beams out of his eyes. Seriously. Some say they were rays of light, but laser beams is more fun. There were other monkeys on the mountain who had recently found a waterfall with a big cave behind it. They really wanted to know what was in that cave, but were too scared to venture in. Not Wukong, though. He went in immediately, and when he did, he found a really nice, safe place for the monkeys to live. Because of that, they named him their king. And that's how his story started. Though I'm sure you know, he did a lot of crazy stuff after that. Where do baby gods come from? A dude chopped the sky's balls off, and then they fell into the water and became a woman. Everyone agreed to stop fighting and started spitting into a jar. Then a poet came out of it. A god jerked off. A god took a bath. A rock decided it didn't want to be a rock anymore, so it became a monkey. And then it shot laser beams. Vishnu came out of Shiva's ankle, and then Shiva came out of Vishnu's eyebrows. What? I don't know. You guys, I just had the worst date ever, okay? This girl told me she was into mythology, okay? And then she gets all weirded out when I go into an in-depth analysis comparing the 9 circles of hell to the 28 realms of Naraka. Okay, sorry I'm passionate, alright? I mean, she had no knowledge of how the Tuatha De Danann defeated the Fomorians. She'd never even heard of Momotaro. She got uncomfortable discussing Aztec sacrificial practice. And for God's sake, she kept saying Hercules instead of Heracles. What are we supposed to talk about? Your family? You want me to learn the names of your parents when you can't even name the avatars of Vishnu? You think it's not important? It's gonna be when the Kali Yuga begins! Bitches, man. You know something I don't think we're utilizing? You know the Hydra story? How Heracles defeated it by slicing off its heads and burning the stumps, but then the last head was immortal, so he ripped it off the body and buried it under a rock so it wouldn't rise again? I think you could make a really cool horror story out of that. Like, say in modern day, someone unearths that rock, like for construction or some stuff, and then the head is able to get out, like slithering out like a snake at first, but then over time regrowing its body. Maybe people chop off its heads when they fight it, but then more grow. It just gets bigger and bigger as the story goes. And I think it would make a really exhilarating, scary story or something. Feel free to do something with it if you want. I won't sue you. I only ask that if you get a movie deal, I get to cameo in the film. I think that's fair. So here's a mythical creature who got a little bit too cocky. The Niwatori Noso from Japanese folklore. How do these things come about? Well, see, a lot of Asian monks are forbidden to eat meat, but they don't always follow that rule. Some of them break their vows by eating chickens, and when they do, the vengeful spirits of the chickens... I'm sorry. The vengeful spirits of the chickens curse them to become human-chicken hybrids. There's one story in particular where a monk stole and ate one of his neighbor's chickens. When confronted about it, he tried to lie, but a very foul noise came out of his throat, and then the chicken's head popped out of his mouth, along with a chicken tail protruding from his backside. Pretty sure no further investigation was needed. So, maybe don't open a Chick-fil-A in Japan. It's gonna get real awkward. Where do baby gods come from? A god ate his wife, and then he got a headache, so he split his head open. Ra got mad and ripped his eye out. And now it's a lion. There was a dead woman who had a bunch of sentient growths on her body. They all merged together and chased after her husband. A cow licked some ice. Shiva told the fire to put his cum in a river. God just kinda said, "Surprise, you're pregnant, lol." Good luck with that, don't ask how. Oh, and you might want a GTFO because all the babies here are about to get whacked. Hey, don't start judging me, okay? I'm in Rome, buddy, so I'm just doing as the Romans do. I don't care where you are, you cannot crucify people! Jesus, you won't let me crucify people? You won't let me conquer the British Isles? What am I allowed to do? I have a little question/theory about modern wrestling and medieval knights. Okay, I know that sounds really random, but let me explain. You know how a lot of times in modern wrestling, wrestlers will have this huge extravagant entrance as they head towards the ring, and obviously there's an announcer announcing stuff about them? Do you think we do that nowadays because it was a thing back with medieval knights? Before they went into a duel or a joust, they would often try to have extravagant entrances and a guy announcing stuff about them. And you might think it's not on the same level, but there's apparently record that a lot of knights before they went into a joust, they'd roll in on a big wagon that was very intricately detailed to look like a forest or an animal or something like that. So they were clearly trying to be as extra as wrestlers are today with what they had. So do you think there's a connection there? Or is it just well known that there's a connection and I'm way behind? I sadly didn't get to watch wrestling growing up, so I'm out of the loop. Help me out here. Here's something you might not know about Raijin. It's pretty well known that Raijin is the Japanese thunder god and the inspiration behind Raiden from Mortal Kombat and Raiden from Metal Gear. But did you know that this god is actually made up of 8 other gods? You see, his mother Izanami was a goddess who died, but even in death, several parts of her body birthed forth different thunder deities. From her head came a being known as Great Raijin. From her chest came Fire Raijin. From her stomach, Black Raijin. From her arms came Young Raijin and Earth Raijin. From her legs came Bending Raijin and Roaring Raijin. And from her area came Blossoming Raijin, of course. These 8 thunder aspects joined together as the god Raijin and chased after Izanami's husband when he ran away from her after seeing what she became. Yeah, I'd probably run away too if my wife was shooting thunder out of her dead hoo-ha. Where do baby gods come from? Mom and Dad hugged, which burned the mom alive, so Dad had to put the unborn fetus in his leg, which made him immortal. The baby came out too early, so the mom wrapped him in hair and threw him away. And then the water wrapped him in jellyfish. A ball of feathers fell next to a woman, so naturally a grown man popped out of her and killed all her other children. A god came out of a flower that was growing in another god's belly button. Nut was told she was not allowed to give birth, so she asked a bird to play some board games with the moon. Odin banged 9 different women, and they all gave birth to 1 boy. How? I don't know. Welcome to Victims of Zeus Anonymous. Now, I want everyone here to know that this is a safe space where you can all share your stories. Let's start with Kaloni. Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Kaloni. I'm also a turtle. I see that. I used to be a nymph, but then I missed Zeus's wedding, so now I'm a turtle forever. Seems a bit harsh. Yeah, didn't think it would be so mandatory since I, never even met the guy, but apparently this is my life now. Oh, sorry I showed up late. Oh, don't worry, it made sense once we saw you. Let's hear from Sonara. Hello, I'm Sonara. That artichoke is talking. Please wait your turn. Thank you. So, Zeus and I actually used to date, consensually. Oh, that's unusual. I know, huh? But then one day I visited my mother. And then you... No, that's it, actually. Apparently Zeus took that really personally. Said he couldn't trust someone who leaves the house, so now I'm an artichoke. Say, what's your story? Me? Okay. Well, basically Zeus forced himself on me. Oh, my dear, I'm terribly sorry, but sexual victims of Zeus actually have their own support group. It's in the building across the street. Oh. Oops. If I may ask, why is it across the street? Why not just use another room in this building? Well, because it's not one room. It's the whole building. And 6 others. Hey! How do you fix a jack-o'-lantern? With a pumpkin patch. So here's a mythical creature who's got a lot to say. The Vitala from Hindu culture. The Vitala is said to be the Hindu version of the vampire. It's a malevolent entity that possesses and reanimates corpses, and also apparently hangs upside down from trees. An evil Vitala is said to cause miscarriages, drive people insane, even kill children. Well, I guess you could say the miscarriage is already a form of... No, we're not having that debate. But there are some people who actually see Vitala as wise protectors, and even stories of people who try to capture them to make use of their wisdom. Like, there's one story where a sorcerer asks a king to hunt down a Vitala, but the Vitala manages to get away by telling the king a story each time to throw him off. And after this happens 24 times, the Vitala reveals to the king that the sorcerer was actually the bad guy. Not sure why he didn't just do that the first time. Maybe he wanted someone to talk to. My lord, your sacrifices will be ready soon.
Have you forgotten what month it is?
Right. Apologies. Your pumpkin-spiced sacrifices will be ready soon.
Yay.
Where do baby gods come from? The sky bled from its severed ball sack and impregnated the floor. A giant took a nap, so 2 kids grew out of the gunk in his armpits. And a 6-headed kid popped out of his legs. A woman was pregnant for 3.5 years and gave birth to a ball. And then the dad chopped it in half. A woman had a fire baby who vaginally burned her to death. And then his dad chopped his head off. A woman made a boy out of butter so she could take a bath. And then his dad chopped his head off. Thoth was born from Ra's mouth. And then he was born again when Horus fed his cum to his uncle.
Wait, but...
No, we're done with that. Death is not the end. Oh god, there's more? Fun fact! Did you know the Egyptians and Aztecs actually had some very similar beliefs? For example, you probably already know this, but the Egyptian afterlife, or Duat, was divided into several levels, and in one of those levels, the jackal-headed god Anubis would take your heart out, weigh it on a scale against a feather, and then the god Osiris would decide if you're worthy to pass over into the afterlife. The Aztecs also believed that their underworld, or Mictlan, was divided into several levels, and in one of these levels, called Teoloqueolan, there were monstrous jaguars who would tear your heart out of your body and then offer it to the god Tepeolot, who would then decide if you were worthy to pass into the afterlife. Isn't it nice that multiple cultures believed the gods were gonna rip our dead organs out and then start judging us? Ironically shows how similar we are deep down. Come on, just let me in. No. Why not? You're not dead. Well, counterpoint. I'm dead on the inside. No. Look, I just need like an hour or 2 and then I'll be right back out. It's not allowed. You don't even know what I'm gonna do. You cannot go into the underworld just to pet Cerberus. Damn it! Where do baby gods come from? A goddess turned into a bird and banged her dead husband's reanimated body after sticking a golden dildo on it. A titan threw up. A king hooked up with a goddess, and when the baby was born, he flashbanged the whole kingdom. A giant gave birth to a half-dead baby, and the gods thought it was gross, so they told the baby to go to hell. Just anytime fire happens. A woman had a weird dream. Or she got shot, depends on who you ask. Wisdom with Mimir. Religion on its own does not create hatred. One of the main reasons there are so many different versions and branches of different religions is because there are always people trying to twist it into something it's not in order to justify their hatred to the masses. Having faith and pushing your way of thinking are 2 different things. So here's a mythical creature who's creepy, gross, and doesn't respect boundaries, the Japanese Kurobozu. It's a shadowy, bald dude with dark robes and a long, freaky tongue. These creatures come into your room at night and suck the breath out of your mouth, for unknown reasons. They primarily target women, of course, and another thing they love to do is run that freaky tongue of theirs all over the women's faces. Ugh. They also apparently smell so bad that their victims often become sick. Maybe these are just incels. In one story, a husband apparently would witness a Kurobozu come into his room every night and defile the face of his sleeping wife. And apparently he wasn't doing anything about it. Husband of the year. It got so bad his wife eventually left him and the creature stopped showing up. Good call. Good for her. Hey Kratos, where'd you get these 2 wolves you suddenly have in God of War Ragnarok? My son and I actually rescued them from a group of raiders who were going to kill them. Oh, cool. What made you want to save them? Why wouldn't we save them? Hurting animals is wrong. What's your point? You know what's weird about Journey to the West? So, the entire premise is the Monkey King, Sun Wukong, and a few other allies have to escort a monk across Asia in order to retrieve a set of special scriptures and bring them back. And they go the way by foot and encounter all kinds of crazy characters and threats, and the monk constantly almost dies. In fact, it takes them this many pages to do it all. Here's the thing. Before the journey even happens, it's established that Sun Wukong is so powerful that he can literally jump across the entire universe in seconds. He also has a flying cloud that can fly him to the heavens in seconds. Why doesn't Wukong just jump to where they're going or fly to where they're going and then jump back? Like, it would take him 2 seconds. Is this like Wizard of Oz, where even though it could be over immediately, we have to learn a lesson or something? Out of context lines from Journey to the West. "My son," said Pilgrim with a chuckle, "if you're no match for someone, stripping isn't going to help you. It just so happened that the drugs I was preparing today had to avoid being exposed to females. That was why I did not respond. Human flesh, sautéed and fried in human lard until black enough that it could pass for pieces of fried wheat gluten. They also pan-fried freshly gouged human brains, which they then cut up to look like pieces of bean curd. Then they darted into the caves, all naked, and ran past the Tang monk, giggling and still covering their private parts with their hands. She'd lower her creamy neck, she'd twist her slender waist. Gold buttons loosened, her bosoms half revealed. "You bitch!" shouted 8 Rules. "You don't know when to stop! Isn't it enough that we spare your life?" That's one of the heroes, by the way.